How can a player who only played 17 OHL games be ranked first overall? That's a question we often receive. The answer is simple. The NHL draft is a process of finding the most special prospects, and no one in this class is more special than Matthew Schaefer.
Here's Schaefer. Schaefer scores!
He's highly mobile, skilled, smart, creative, and has a lot of potential on both sides of the game. He has the largest upside and also the highest floor. To better understand his game, we'll break down shifts from his best performance of the season and show you his strengths, weaknesses, and his overall projection. Schaefer is more known for his offense, but his tools give him just as much potential on the defensive side of the game, as one can see in this first shift and now on this penalty kill. He doesn't stop all of the position's attempt, but he's somehow always in the way. That's because he can jump from attacker to attacker and passing lane to passing lane very easily with his lateral mobility. His motor is one of his biggest strengths.
Lefebvre around the net. Lefebvre finds Von Richter on the outlet, back up top, Fibbiger, now to Van Volsen.
At his best, he's very active in the defensive zone, boxing out, cutting lanes, and his activity level should only rise as he matures and gets more and more involved defensively. This was a play that he couldn't really stop. The other team had space and a numbers advantage. But what's projectable about it is that he still looked behind him to map out the options of the attacker to try and position optimally and cut the passing lane. And he was also very aggressive in his approach. In general, aggressive players translate better to the NHL. You want to see players get the jump on opponents and their stick on the puck. Here's a good look at his skating. He has a great acceleration technique. He digs into the ice with his skates and launches himself forward in a kind of sprint motion. And he also has the reach to get his stick on the puck first. He also displays a lot of agility controlling the puck while it's in his feet with a forechecker on his back. Already, just his tools foundation gave him a lot of potential. You don't need to see a lot from Matthew Schaefer to understand that he's a top prospect. He's not one of those talents that whisper. He's an obvious one.
He goes cross ice, Richmond taps it in. Sherratt will send it the rest of the way, but Sauter picks it up here for the Otters. He's bumped by Sherratt, that frees up the puck. Sherratt tried to go down low.
Here, the play gets back in the defensive zone, intercepts a pass, and then he turns into a one-man breakout machine, with a give and go and by carrying the puck out. He has the poise to find the first pass option, and then with his skating, he drives the middle and then creates another give and go. He has the presence of mind to know that he has another teammate across and he makes the play. Because of Schaefer's hockey sense and high-end tools, this is a sequence we could see him replicate at the NHL level. He doesn't even need teammates to make breakout plays sometimes. Here, he bounced the puck to himself using the board and made a similar give and go play to an offensive zone entry. Again, he's not a talent that whispers. He's a very evident, loud one that you don't need to see for very long to understand how he could transform an NHL team. It doesn't mean that he doesn't make mistakes. We'll see plenty of areas in need of improvements in this video. But that ability to take pucks in movement, attract defenders, make plays around them, and explode up the ice will make him highly valuable in the NHL. He's so explosive that he can get ahead of the play and take on forward roles, forechecking and opening up the offense for his team before coming back to his post at the blue line. And because of his explosiveness, he can also instantly transform defense into offense by breaking plays and acting on those turnovers.
The Steelheads move it into the zone, but it's taken away by Matthew Schaefer. Speaking of patience, makes a great move there on Fibbiger. Schaefer keeps the puck, threw it in front. Frasca forced behind the net. Former Kingston Frontenac throws it into the middle, but it's read by Martone. And now Rakoff has it at center ice. He'll send it in.
Schaefer has multiple different offensive talents, but one of the things he has to work on is his ability to quarterback his team from the blue line. He's mobile and he can distribute the puck and find shooting lanes and open teammates, but he's not as good at faking and challenging defenders as other top offensive defensemen we've seen come through the draft in recent years. He's really at his best when attacking off the rush, carrying the puck, making his give and goes, and creating openings that way. This brings some minor questions about how his offense will translate. Defensemen rarely carry the puck in the NHL like he does in the OHL. He has the skating and the passing ability to still become a hyper-talented puck mover, but to really pick up points, he will have to add more deception and playmaking from the line too. It shouldn't be too hard for him, considering he has the skills needed to develop that side of his game, and he already flashes that playmaking ability. Here's an example. Instead of taking more of a straight route and looking at the net and loading his shot to fake the defense and freeze them to open space for his teammate to set up his shot, Schaefer reveals his intention to pass early with his route and the way he handled the puck, and his pass wasn't made with the right weight and angle to help his teammate load up his one-timer.
Together and they're out there on the ice. Another face-off win for Erie, and Schaefer gets this puck deep. Sova tries to chip it out. Rakoff couldn't get it out on that.
Schaefer's tools are a bit unfair at the OHL level. They give him a large area of action. Here, the other team tries to start an attack, but he denies it easily with his stick, and he supports the forecheck right after with an aggressive pinch, anticipating the play to the wall, and he easily recovers his position after that.
Second try is able to work it out to center. Schaefer, though, who skates so well, is able to track it down in his own end. Used pressure there by Rakoff. Misa trying to hold it in. It's taken back by the Otters.
Here's an example of a great in-zone pass from Schaefer. He walks the line, hides his intentions from the defender, and makes the pass. Schaefer is capable of pulling off those plays. It's just a question of that aspect of his game becoming more solid. He's going to have another great pass here too. He saw the open space in front of him, skated into it on first touch, and reached the cross-ice passing lane. And he does the same thing for a shot right after.
Second time that Gary Terrance didn't get enough wood on it. Schaefer at the top of the left point, down low to his captain, Terrance. Back up top to Schaefer. In.
His skating is a great playmaking tool. Just by moving constantly, he shifts the defense and opens up plays, and he can always recover defensively after trying something. Schaefer also needs to refine his defensive details, like here, by anticipating the pass, tightening up his gap before it, and keeping his stick on the puck. Right after, he makes a good play offensively, by cutting away and taking back ice to become an option for his teammate as he turns. Had he gotten the puck, he would probably have had a good shot from the high slot. Schaefer is not just great with the puck offensively, but also without it. He activates at the right times, attacks pockets of space, and seems to always be an option for teammates. His skills should only shine more with more creative and aware teammates. The other element that makes you think that Schaefer has a lot more upside left is that he's one of the youngest players in the draft, and he's pretty light for his size at the moment.
It's Hughes again. That shot was blocked away. Gabriel Frasca swept off his stick. Martone finds Sova and bumps it over to Rakoff.
He approaches this battle decently well by trying to establish body positioning on the puck first, but he gets bounced off of it. That's partly because of his gap with the opponent as he slowed down, but also because he's not the strongest at the moment. As he already looks to engage opponents and protect the puck, the physical aspect of his game should become more and more dominant as he ages and adds strength, making him a very good puck retriever.
2 minutes to go in the second. Davio flips it to Alfano, and now to Matt Schaefer, jumping up in the rush again. Neat move around Rakoff, and then a great move by Schaefer in front, and what a goal! Malcolm Spence finishes it. Matt Schaefer.
That goal doesn't require much explanation. It's just pure skill. And again, he's going to conserve that skill advantage at the NHL level, to the point where I think he could pull off one sequence like this every season. We see him transform defense into offense and offense into defense here. His gap could be tighter in the neutral zone, but he manages the one-on-one well, watching the opponent's body and poke checking. The opponent falls, he acts on the turnover, passes up, and again positions very well in the offensive zone. He anticipates the back pass and slides in a cross-ice lane to be a one-timer option for his next teammate. Then he defends the rush again. His gap is great, partly because he skated deep in the offensive zone beforehand. He could then take a better route to match the opposition's movement and kill their space. They force a pass and Schaefer catches it and starts another breakout.
Richmond, Witkowski, and Rakoff after the extended penalty kill. Schaefer works it in himself. Schaefer to the net, stopped by Ivan Kovic.
Most good junior defender can handle one-on-one scenarios with support quite well, and it's even easier for Schaefer because of his tools. But what makes us think that he will become an above-average NHL defender too is because of shifts like this. The other team attacks, Schaefer anticipates the pass, puts pressure on the carrier, and recovers. He also anticipates the next play, a cross-ice pass. So he positions inside that lane, forcing the carrier into a less dangerous play. Then he doesn't overextend, but stays near the net. That allows him to be in range to get his stick on a potential cross-ice one-timer, and also to erase a potential cross-crease pass after. The best defense is not stopping plays, it's preventing them from happening entirely. The fact that Schaefer only played 17 OHL games this season can be perceived as a negative, but it also adds to his potential. This is a very young player who will add strength and become even stronger and an even better mover, and his hockey sense will continue to develop as he plays more and more over the next seasons. In his prime, we project that his mobility will be one of the very best in the NHL, and that he will also be one of the smartest defensemen in the league, on top of having great scoring tools. He has all of the elements necessary to evolve into a two-way force and a #1 defenseman. He's the player in this draft with the most potential to change the course of an NHL franchise entirely.
Is over, and here comes Schaefer, a breakaway out of the penalty box. Schaefer coming in, he scores. You almost knew it from when he picked it up at the blue line, and Erie.
So that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. If you want more prospect analysis, you can also check out our draft guide or the news section of Elite Prospects.